Oh, good morning, everyone. This morning we have a special guest, someone from Tanzania, a rising star from Tanzania, a young entrepreneur who will be here this morning to tell us about the Tanzanian cashew season. We are told that is a very promising entrepreneur in the cashew industry. So we want to hear from him since he's the local. We believe that local have some insight that can be very useful to the industry. So this morning we're going to welcome our special guest by the name of Ezekiel William. He's from Tanzania. Okay. Hello, welcome, Ezekiel.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. I don't know about your side. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. So, as I said in the introduction, we have a special guest this morning, a gentleman by the name of Ezekiel William. He's from Tanzania, a rising star in the cashew industry, very active on the social media. We see a lot of his posts on LinkedIn, sharing some really good information, very useful stuff. So that's why we believe that it'll be useful to have an interview with him this morning so he can tell us his views, his opinion about the cashew industry. He can give us some insight because being a local is very important, useful to listen to the local because they have different insight since they're from the country. There are a lot of things that they're aware of that other people are not. Because looking at from outside is always different from someone local, someone who live in the country. So welcome again, Ezekiel. First of all, can you introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Ezekiel William. I am the founder and the head of operation at Zawadi Agri Food, a local company based in Tanzania dealing with the export of raw cashew nuts and pulses. When I speak of pulses, I mean produce like chickpeas, pigeon peas, and beans. Also at Zawadi, we have a subsidiary company. It's basically like a startup. It's called Bibo Cash, and Bibo Cash, its main focus is on processing of raw cashew nuts and exports of cashew nut kernels. So at Bibo Cash, right now we are actively seeking for potential partners and the investors who can join us on the mission to establish our automated full processing facility in Tanzania that is meeting our international standards, especially for the European and American markets. Yeah, that's introduction of me. Thank you.
All right. Okay, that's great. Thank you for the brilliant introduction, Ezekiel. The other thing we want to, if not the first one we want to know about is the last auction or the first auction which took place on the 11th of October. Can you tell us about that first auction?
Okay. Actually, the first auction was done on 11th of October, and it came with a lot of surprise to farmers, traders, and all stakeholders in general. Because first of all, the auction gave out the price, an all-time high price for the cashew nuts in the Tanzanian market, and it was happiest moment for Tanzanian farmers and the government. But also it caused some shock to some traders. Some traders could not believe what was happening on the market, especially on the price. Some traders believe that the price is beyond what the market can afford, especially on the Indian and Vietnam market. But on the Tanzanian side, especially for the farmers and the government, it was the happiest moment. I wish you could be here and see the face of the farmers. They were very, very happy. But but for the traders and local processors, it's a shock moment. Yeah, that's I believe on the first auction.
Okay. And what about the pricing? On social media, there are different reports from on the international market. Uh, some people are saying that the bidding price was too high. I even heard $2,300, and some people said no, it wasn't that much. It was corrected. Somebody was saying a consultant whom I know, I won't say the name. He said it was about 1,850. Can you tell us about the winning bid?
Okay, actually, the winning bid I will mention on T shillings and US dollar. So the winning bid in T shillings was 4,120. If you
Right.
convert it to US dollar, it's around 1.52. That's price for 1 kilogram. And if you convert it, if you give it per ton, it's 1,520. That was
Right.
a winning bid. Yes, there was basically two prices, the highest one and the lowest one, but all buyers offer the price. They acquired the consignment from the warehouse. So the lowest one was 4,035. That's around 1.494 per kilogram. And per metric ton, it's 1,494. That was a winning bid in the auction, on the first auction, which was held on the 11th of October.
Right. Right. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. At least that helps to clarify thing and give us the correct figure, because there are a lot of numbers flying around, and
Mhm.
but with this information, we have the correct information about the pricing. Okay.
Sure.
So could you tell us about the quality? As you know, most international buyer, they are very concerned about the qualities.
Sure.
In West Africa, the quality wasn't great this year.
Okay.
Okay. So how is the quality looking like in Tanzania this year?
Actually, so far the quality is good, and based on the according to the sales catalog provided to the buyers, the cashew nuts offered in the auction are of high quality, and by average, the outturn was above 52 for the first auction.
52.
Yes, 52 the outturn, and nut count was between 165 to 180. The nut count for the first auction, and this is because the auction was done in Tandaimba, Newala districts, and these districts are basically producing the best quality uh, uh, of cashew nuts in the Tanzanian market, and they're big in size. That's why you find mostly they were 165 to 180 nut count.
Right, right, right. Okay. I mean, Alton 52. That's great. The
Yes,
Natgun also is quite good because it means you have big nuts, and
yes,
many
big nut.
factories they want big nuts because that's where you get the W240
Sure, sure.
big nuts, and you can sell that for more.
Sure.
So that's great. I mean, compared to countries like Bissau,
Mm.
they will get Alton 52, 53 sometime, but the nut count is too high. It goes up to 220. So it means the nuts are small, and
Okay.
certain factory they don't like small nuts. They want the bigger
Sure.
one, like you guys, what you guys have. Okay, okay, that's good. Now, can you tell us about your forecast in terms of quantity, the production? Because why I'm asking that is because in West Africa, even in Indonesia, what we notice is that the production was low. It was due
Okay.
to the El Nino phenomenon that you know. And in country like Ivory Coast, there was a huge decline of the production. Um, so what about Tanzania? How is the production looking like?
Actually, this year it has been vice versa in Tanzania compared to the rest of the producing countries. because of the El Nino phenomena, which was happened between January to May, the cashew nut trees were able to harvest a lot of water. Okay, and because of that, we were expecting a bumper production this year. And as of now, in the farms, in the cooperative warehouse, there is a lot of crops compared to the last year. And I expect this year we're going to have all-time high. We're going to be all-time high in the production quantity.
Wow.
And yes, by myself, I believe that we are going to increase the production by more than 40% compared to the last year production.
That's
And
great.
last year production was 310,000 metric tons. So I believe this year we are going to be above 450,000 metric tons.
Oh wow, wow.
Yes.
That's great. That's great.
Mm.
Hopefully, it can make up for the low production people saw in West Africa. That's very good. Now, can you tell us about the concept of behind the auction? Because you know, in most part of the world, it's
Mm.
not sold by auction like in Tanzania,
Okay.
especially West Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Benin, Togo, Burkina Faso, Senegal. In none of those countries works in as auction. Can you
Okay.
explain a little bit that concept of auction that you have in Tanzania?
Okay. First of all, the concept of the cashew nut auction was designed by the Tanzanian government, and the aim was to give power to the farmers. Because through the auction, farmers are able to sell their produce in groups. Okay, so they have a collective bargaining power, and by doing so, um, the government believe that the farmers will get a fair price. So how it is? So basically, after production in the farms, the farmers they collect their produce in their cooperative unions, and in the cooperative unions there they inspect the quality and everything. They do quality checkup and everything, and then the cashews are taken to the places the auction warehouse. And before they enter into the auction warehouse, the warehouse operator has to inspect and check the quality, and then he grade and stake the cashew nuts inside the warehouse. So if it's first grade, will stay in different lots to the second grade. Okay, and this all these processes are done under warehouse receipt system. In Tanzania, we have a warehouse receipt regulatory body that's oversee and regulate all the licensed warehouse or under the in the cashew nuts market. And then after staking and everything, the cashew nuts are taken to the public auctions where buyers are able to participate. Okay, and the highest bidder is obvious the one who's going to get the cashew nuts. And in this manner, farmers are going to sell their produce in a collective price. They are going to have a uniform price from the highest bidder. Yeah, so the main concept or the main uh, aim of the auction is to give a fair price to the farmer, but also there is traceability of the cashew nuts under the warehouse receipt system. The buyer is able to trace the cashew nuts he bought uh, from the auction warehouse down to who the farmers produce the quantity bought in the auction warehouse. And also transparency. Yes, auctions big transparency to farmers and all stakeholders in the market. Yes, so in this way, with in Tanzania, we believe that the selling our product or cashew nuts under auction, it bring more efficiency, transparency, and a fair price to the farmer. But on the buyer side, we believe that buyers are able to trace the cashew nuts down to the farmers who produce, but also it helped them reduce transaction costs because they are going to buy huge quantity at once. But also the risk, okay, the risk of running with money from village to village searching for cashew nuts, that risk is removed and ensure safety of the money to the buyers. So that's the main concept of the auction in Tanzania.
Okay. Okay, great, great. Thank you for that explanation. We heard also there's an online system which is introduced this year. Has it been rolled out yet, or it's still being like a pilot? Has it started with the online system?
Yes, actually, all the auctions this season have been done under the TMX online system, and uh, it was being piloted over the past 2 years for the other products, but for the cashew nuts, yeah, this was the first time it has been used, and to farmers are happy with the system because they believe that it is more transparent than the traditional system. Okay, because they are able to monitor the price and do the market analysis there. But also for the case of the buyers, they can participate in the auction remote. They don't have to physically be there. Okay, they can participate remotely anywhere in the world as long as they have access to the internet. Uh, so for the case of the TMX online system, uh, if you compare it to the traditional one, the TMX online system is more transparent than the traditional one because buyers and seller and all stakeholders are able to monitor, okay, the price and the market situation live, compared to the traditional one, which farmers were not able to monitor the price which has been presented by the buyers. But also, it does not require physical presence compared to the traditional one. And also, it has the online system has widely increased the number of buyers who participate in the auction compared to the traditional one. But also, there is a steep competition in this online system compared to the traditional one. As I said, it has encouraged a lot of buyers to participate, and this also has been causing a challenge to some buyers because they believe this huge competition may cause price to go up, and most of the buyers and traders may not be able to compete in the world market after buying from the Tanzanian market through the online trading system.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's great. So you're saying that with other commodities, the online system already exists, right?
Sure. Yeah,
It's
sure.
just that with cashews is now they're starting to roll it out slowly, slowly.
Yes.
Right, right, right.
Yes, the online system has been used on sesame seeds, coffee, pigeon peas, and chickpeas.
Right, right,
Yes, yeah. In past 1 year, it has been done in the other products, but for the cashew nuts, it has been its first time in this auction.
right, right, right.
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right. Can you tell us about the freight? As you know, in the costing, freight is something that buyers want to know,
Yes.
and it affect the price a lot. So this year, how is the freight looking like with company like CMSCGM,
Mhm.
MSC, Myers Line? How does it look like?
Okay. Firstly, be honest. In Tanzania, when it is cashew nut season, freight become a serious issue, a very very serious issue. The availability of and accessibility of the container become a challenge. Also, booking the vessels on time become challenge because of lot of a huge quantity of cashew nuts and a huge number of exporters. But also exporting the cashew nuts on time become a challenge because of congestion on the ports there. Yeah, so when it is a cashew nut season, the freight costs usually go high. They go up compared to rest of the times throughout the year. And for example, I have the rates from the CMA CGM. This rates are applicable for the month of October. The 20-feet container from Tanzania to India, Tutkon port, it costs 1,900. This is it for the 20-feet container. But for the 40-feet to Tutkon port in India, it costs 2,650. Okay. If we compare this rates to the let's say from in the past 2 or 3 months, it went up. Okay. Another rates. This is also from CMA CGM from Tanzania to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. The 20-feet container costs 1,900, and the 40-feet costs 2,750. Also from Tanzania to Nhava, Sheva, India, the 20-feet costs 1,600, while the 40-feet costs 2,150. From Tanzania again to Calcutta, India, the 20-feet container costs 2,000, while the 40-feet costs 3,250. Another again from Tanzania to Cochin Port in India, the 20-feet costs 1,700, while the 40-feet costs 2,650. These are the rates from CMA CGM shipping line, and they are applicable for the October.
Okay.
But yes, this rate can change because depending on the weather and other factors. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's not fixed. Yeah, it depends on the supply and demand. If there's
Yes.
more demand, it's gonna go up. If there's less demand, then it might
Yes.
go down. So we understand. Okay,
Yes.
these are indicative price. Thank you. Thank you. That's very useful. Can you remind some of our viewers are not familiar with the transit time? What's the transit time between Tanzania port to, let's say, Ho Chi Minh port?
Okay. So basically, in Tanzania, we are using two ports for the export of cashew nuts.
Right.
We are using Mtwara Port and the Leslam Port. Mtwara Port is responsible for the cashew nuts produced in Lindi, Mtwara, and Ruvuma. All the southern cities they ship the cashew nuts to Mtwara Port, and the Leslam Port is for coast region, Morogoro and Tanga. So the transit time from Mtwara to Tutkon, for example, from Mtwara to Tutkon, it's 15 to 20 days, while from the Lesram to Tutkon, it's 12 to 15 days. Similarly, the transit time from Mtwara to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam is 18 to 22 days, while from the Leslam to Ho Chi Minh City, it is 16 to 20 days. And this transit time is after the vessel has been set in sail. Okay. And also the transit time, as we all know, it depends on the vessel's type, weather condition, shipping line schedule, and factors like that. So it may change. It may go beyond the estimated transit time, or it may be yes.
Okay, okay. That's very useful. That's very useful. Now, can you tell us what's the market trend for the upcoming bid? How do you see the future bid? Do you feel that it's gonna go up or it will go down?
Okay. So basically, so far, for auction has been held. 4 different auction for the cashew nuts have been
Right.
held. Yeah, from the first auction, which was held on 11th of October, up to today, we have done so far for auction. And if I go from the data, the market data, it seems like the price is going down. Okay, the first auction had the highest price. The second one has the lowest price compared to the rest of the auction. The third one has a bit higher price compared to the second auction. And the last one was also having highest price auction. The price was high compared to the rest of auction. If I took the average price, I mean the highest price and the lowest price. If I took the average, the first auction had the highest price, the second auction had the lowest price, but the third and the fourth auction had the lowest price compared to the first and the second auction. So typically the price is going down. Okay, there is a downtrend of the price of cashew nuts from the auction.
Wow. So, do you know what's could explain that? What's the reason for that? That the price is going down?
Okay, actually there are a number of factors. The first factor is on quality. As I said, these auctions are usually done to a respective cooperative union. So the first auction was done in a Taneko Cooperative Union. This union usually offer the cashew nuts with the highest quality compared to the rest of the cooperative union, and maybe that's why the price was higher compared to the rest of union. But also, if you go on the supply factor, the first auction has had very little quantity of cashew nuts. The first auction had only around 3,900 metric tons of cashew nuts. 3,900. But if you go to the last auction, the quantity was around 18,000. Okay, 18,000. So maybe because the first auction had a little amount of cashew nuts, maybe the price was higher. Okay, and the last auction, I mean the fourth one, had a huge quantity of cashew nuts, and maybe the average price was lower than compared to the rest of the auction. So I believe there are two main factors. The first one is quality to a respective cooperative, and the second one is supply. Okay, the first auction had little supply, that's why the price was high. But the fourth auction had the huge quantity of cashew nuts, and that's why the price was relatively lower.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. That makes sense. We're 2 minutes away because we want the interview to be 30 minutes. So we've done 28. Thank you. The last question I will ask you is, when do you expect the auction season to conclude this year?
Okay, based on the situation in the farms, I believe the auction will conclude by January 2026, 2025. That's when the auction will conclude.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Okay, yes, and also on the terms of the quality, I believe by December to January, the quality of the cashew nuts is going to drop. It's going to drop, and there is high possibility the quality will be lower than 49 Altan. Because from December to January, there is a circumstance of rain season here in Tanzania, and because of the rain season, most of the cashew nuts have high quantity of moisture content, and because of that, the quality usually go down. And during this time, traders who wants to buy cashew nuts at the bottom price, it's their time. Okay, this time between this time, December to January, it's time to secure most of the cashew, which relatively have lower quality but also a lower price.
Excellent, excellent. That's great. Thank you, Ezekiel. This was brilliant. I want to tell the viewers, all those people who view this, if you have any question, feel free to drop in the comment section.
Sure.
And That way, we or Ezekiel will come back to us with the answer. We can send it to you directly, or we can include it within the comment section. But this was brilliant. It helped us to have an insight into the Tanzania and the cashew season, which started not long ago. So there are a lot of people who want to come and buy, but sometimes, they are hesitant because they don't understand the auction, the way it works, with the auction. Not everybody is familiar with it. Those who buy usually from Tanzania, they understand,
Yeah,
the
sure.
large corporates, like Olam and these guys, they know how it works.
Yes.
But there are some new companies who want to come in and they don't understand how it works because they usually buy from West Africa. And in West Africa is the old-fashioned way. I don't want to disrespect West Africa, but it works differently,
Yeah, sure.
So those people who are not familiar with it, they will find your explanation very useful. It will help them to understand how the auction works, the benefit for both the supplier, the farmers, and the buyer. And what I like is it's quite fair to all parties involved. I mean, it's important to also respect and protect the farmers because without farmers, there's no cashew. If there's no
Yeah,
cashew,
sure.
there's no industry, right? So
Exactly.
the system you have ensure that the interests of the farmers are protected, and at the same time, it also protects the buyer, the international buyer, because in some other countries, buyers lose a lot of money. They will come and fortunately meet the wrong type of people, finance the buying, and then in the end, they end up with no product. But the way it's organized and structured in Tanzania, you also protect the investment brought in by the investor, the buyer.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win for all parties involved: the
Yeah, sure.
farmers, the buyers, the government, and it's really a good example that I believe other African country can learn from. I even heard that you guys are also setting up like a stock exchange for cashew, which is quite progressive and a very useful innovation, right? You get stock exchange for things like cocoa, coffee, those major commodities, old-fashioned. But for cashew, it's fairly new, and I think that's the way forward.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you so much again, Ezekiel, for your time. Hopefully, we'll hear back from you again. That won't be the last time. It's the first time,
Yeah,
but won't
sure.
be the last. Thank you
Sure.
again for your time. We are at 33 minutes. It was very useful. Thank you again. We shall
Thank you
keep
so
in.
much.
Last words. You want to add something before we close?
First of all, I'd like to say I really appreciate and I am honored for this opportunity to participate. But also, I would love to encourage international buyers that Tanzania we have the best cashew nuts, and the system to procure and purchase Tanzanian cashew nuts is really organized. Okay, so you don't have to worry about your funds or anything like that. But also at Zawadi, we welcome all international interested and potential buyers for cashew nuts to collaborate with us. We are ready to help you by all means to help you secure the best quality. Okay, for your business. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Excellent, excellent. And after we finish the interview, you can send me the link to your company. We'll
Okay.
add it in the description. So
Okay.
that if there are international buyers who view this interview who want to collaborate with you guys,
Okay.
they can contact you through your link. Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So thank you again, and we shall speak another time, Ezekiel.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. All right. Bye bye.
Have a nice day.
And you. Bye bye.
Bye.